Welcome back, student. In previous video we studied about the heterotrophic mode of nutrition in parasitic plant. Now we are going to talk about heterotrophic mode of nutrition in insectivorous plants. So let us start the topic. Students, have you seen or heard of plants that can eat animals? There are few plants which can trap insect and digest them. Is it not amazing? Such plants may be green or some other colors. So the plants that eat insect for fulfilling their nitrogenous needs is known as insectivorous plants. These plants contain chlorophyll and they are autotrophic in nature. These plants grow in swamps and bogs where the soil is deficient in nitrogen supply. They supplement their nitrogenous food requirement by trapping and digesting the insects and small animals. Look at the plant in this picture. This is pitcher plant or Nepenthes. The pitcher-like or jug-like structure is the modified part of the leaf. The apex of the leaf forms a lid which can open and close the mouth of the pitcher. Inside the pitcher, there are hairs which entangle the trap insect. The lid closes and the insect is trapped. The insect is killed by the juices secreted in the pitcher and its nutrients are absorbed. Such insect eating plants are called insectivorous plants. Drosera or sundew is another interesting example of insectivorous plant. The leaf blade bears about 150 to 200 tentacles. The tentacles are sensitive glandular hairs and they grow vertically. The tentacles bear glands at their tip. These glands create some substance that contains digestive juice. When an insect happens to sit on such a leaf, the sensitive tentacles rapidly bend inward and surround its body. The digestive fluids covers the insect body and the digested part of the insects are absorbed and assimilated by the plant. Venus flytrap. Venus flytrap is also an example of insectivorous plant. The leaf lamina consists of two parts or two lobes. Both lobes have 12 to 20 teeth. The two sets of teeth interlocked when closed to prevent the escape of the insect. So this is an example of Venus flytrap or insectivorous plant. So next example is bladderwort or utricularia. This plant grows in water. Leaves of this plant is modified into bladder. Bladder is a tiny circular structure. Mouth of the bladder have sensitive hairs. So small insects get trapped inside this bladder. So in this insectivorous plant, the insect will trap inside the bladder. So we talk about the Nepenthes or pitcher plant, sundew or drosera, Venus flytrap and bladderwort. Now we are going to start with saprotrophic mode of nutrition. The mode of nutrition in which plant or organism take in nutrient from the dead and decaying matter. This is called saprotrophic mode of nutrition. And the organism which show this mode of nutrition are known as saprotroph or saprophytes. Saprophytes are non-green heterotrophic plants which obtain their food from the dead organic matter. They are mostly fungi and bacteria. Among the flowering plant, Monotropa is the example of saprophyte. So in this picture you can see the Monotropa or Indian pipe. This plant grows in forest soil which is rich in humus formed by the fallen leaves. The aerial part of the plant is non-green. This plant absorbs nourishment from the dead organic matter of the soil. Now, second example you can see. In this picture, you can see the fungus growing on bread. This is also an example of saprophyte or saprotroph. You might have seen the packets of mushroom sold in the vegetables market. You may have also seen fluffy umbrella-like patches growing in moist soil or rotting wood. So these are also example of saprophyte and they show saprotrophic mode of nutrition. Now let us start with symbiotic relationship. Plants which live in association with other plants and share shelter and nutrients are called symbiotic plants. Some organisms live together and share both shelter and their nutrients. This type of relationship is called symbiosis or symbiotic relationship, and the organism who shows this type of relationship are known as symbionts. Lichen is the good example of symbiotic relationship. In this relationship, algae and fungus live together and both are beneficial for each other. Algae have chlorophyll and so it can make its own food with the help of photosynthesis process. And fungus does not have chlorophyll, so it has to be dependent on other for their food. So algae will provide the fungus with its food. In return, fungus will provide the shelter, water and mineral supply to the algae. So this is the example of symbiotic relationship in which both organisms mutually dependent on each other. So in this video we talk about the heterotrophic mode of nutrition in plants. In next video we will learn about how nutrients are replenished in the soil. Thank you.